prosthetic arm to meet the needs of transradial amputees. The arm is to be constructed from the materials provided in the lab, such as a cardboard tube, plywood, fasteners, rubber bands, fishing line, and Velcro. In order to succeed in the assignment, the arm has to be able to perform certain tasks like picking objects up and throwing beanbags at a target. We started to tackle this project first by brainstorming.
So it is kind of hard to hear in the video because of all the other people talking. But this is our brainstorming process. First, we set out the whiteboard and I drew out my idea for how many fingers we were going to do and how the interlocking would take place. The first one I drew looked a little weird, so I tried to redraw it to more accurately show the interlocking process. Here I show with my actual fingers how it will more likely look. Here I'm showing the design for the fingers that I had in mind. I decided to base the design heavily off of the human finger, which had 3 different parts and 2 joints. I based the design from the string off of ligaments that would pull your finger out and in. The difficulty with this design was figuring out how the string would be attached in order to be able to pull the finger down successfully. After this, I decided to get to work to create a SolidWorks file that accurately represents what we were trying to go for. So this is our first prototype SolidWorks assembly file. We have 3 different parts of the finger. There's the end part, the mid part, and the start part. The start part will be somehow connected to the base, and then the middle part and then the end part will be what grabs it. These little notches house the rubber bands to keep it compressed at an idle state, and then a fishing line will be somehow attached up here and go down through the back and be attached at the bottom so we can pull it and it'll straighten out. This needs a lot of work. I don't know how this is going to work, but it's a start.
And as of right now, the only problem that we're looking at fixing is this middle section here and just like making the angle a little bit smaller. That way it can be more compressed.
After closer inspection of the SolidWorks file, we realized that we had overlooked some crucial details like how it was overly complex and we weren't sure if it would be fit into the plywood sheet that we were given. We decided to scrap that idea and therefore iterate a new and improved one.
We decided to go with a lot simpler of a design, as this one only has 3 fingers now. It also contains 2 slot pieces that go into the tube and house the axle for the fingers to rotate about. There are 2 pins in the middle of the fingers, which allow the rubber bands to connect. Next thing we have to do is figure out how to attach the string in order to pull the fingers down. We decided to cut out the first prototype and assemble the hand first. In order to attach it to the tube, we had to glue it in place, so we wanted to test it thoroughly before finalizing it. As you can see from the video, the hand failed to pick up a beanbag because it was too heavy and we did not have enough grip. So from our last prototype, I added 2 more rubber bands, but then it still wasn't strong enough. So I said, screw it, and added like a bunch more rubber bands. I don't even know how many are on there. But now, can of soup. Boom. So from our last one too, I also added these rubber bands, which keep this claw open. So that way, when it comes together, it slides right through. Update, I put the hand onto the tube, just rough, we're waiting on fingers, so I made it thick enough with these 2 plates. But in the meantime, I put it on, wrap some strings through, and here's gonna be our first test, seeing if it opens. That's really good. It's exactly what we expected. It's good. After some iterations of the hand, we have landed on our final design. We ended up going with 5 fingers in total as we needed more structure. We added rubber bands at the end of the fingers in order to aid with grip, as we weren't consistent with picking beanbags up. This design of the harness attaches to your bicep like so, and has a fishing line string wrapped around it and a Velcro strap to attach it to your arm. This one is a lot simpler and only requires a little piece of cardboard and some fishing line and Velcro. The way this one works is it threads the line down through a hook on the arm right here, and then that splits it into the 2 different sides of the fingers. When you unflex your elbow, it pulls the fishing line and opens the hand. Now that the hard work was mostly done, it was time to have some fun. The test went exactly how we hoped. The arm performed the test with near perfect results, and it was really cool and rewarding. If we continued the project into the future, I think the biggest thing we would improve upon would be the harness. Although it did end up working fine for the test, it would occasionally slide down the bicep and make the opening process not work. I think it would have been a good idea to reinforce it around to the other shoulder in order to keep it from sliding down. All in all, I'm very happy I got to participate in this assignment and see the engineering design process at work.